Hello and welcome to our second floral arrangement program that we have here at Westminster Village. So what we're going to do today is another floral arrangement, and as you can see, this one looks a little bit different from the first one that we have done. The first one was more of the warm colors, centered to a low, like a centerpiece is what we were going for. So low, nothing too high to block the view from your guests across the table. This one is what I'm envisioning is having this on an entry table, as part of your display case along your wall, something to give your photos a little pop here and there, give your shelves some height in your decorating, or even outside your front door. So what we're going to do is learn a little bit about the height and working with the flowers that we have here. And as you can see, like I had said before, the first one we had done was warmer colors, more winter, definitely even a fallish theme if you'd say. And this one we're going for spring, bright, new colors. We've got our yellows, our whites, and our purples. Lots of fun new spring colors. So what we're going to do is take apart this creation right here and go step by step on how to create a floral arrangement. So what I have as part of my material, first, of course, starting with my vase, and I knew that I wanted to do a floral arrangement that was different from the last one, which is why I'm going for an arrangement with a little bit of height. Now you can still get height from the fishbowl vases, which I believe some of you will receive, and I'll go ahead and show you a few little tips on how to get that height. So we have our vase and we have our shredded paper. You can also use the Oasis to ground your flowers. For my vase and the size, I actually can't fit the Oasis in unless I dissect it, but what I found was that by using the shredded crinkle paper that I have, it was actually able to support my flowers really well. So go ahead and mix it around. You know, you cut small pieces of the dry Oasis up and see if you can fit it in. I know that will work too, but just for all purposes in this video, I'm going to use the shredded paper. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my vase and get that look that I want. You know, and when you use the Oasis like we did last time, what I did was took the Spanish moss, which I have a little bit here too. Let me just pry that off of my flowers. It likes to get all right up in there and get a little messy, so we're going to take it apart. It is really caught in here. Well, and it's tricky with the little stems that shoot off too. So here's our Spanish moss. And what I wanted to do was hide the base of my flowers once I had put them in. So I added the little Spanish moss, but you can achieve the same concealed look by pulling up the crinkled paper just a little bit. So here we go. We have our blossoms. We have a little bit of lavender, which I found out deer will not eat. I thought that was really interesting. If you go up north, there are fields of lavender and they grow very well because the deer don't eat them. We have our ranunculus. So all of these are faux flowers. And by doing that, we're hoping that you can keep the arrangement, rearrange it as needed, and be able to find different uses for it, which is why we're doing the faux flowers. We've got a few daisies here. We've got our little white, it's like baby breath, but it's not. I'm not exactly sure what the name of this flower is, but it's similar to baby breath. So what I'm gonna do is take off this tag, one still has a tag. And as you can see, that lavender adds a lot of height. I've got a little eucalyptus, some thin eucalyptus leaves. And what I'm going for with this spring vibe of a floral arrangement is lots of greens and that fresh new palette of white, yellows, those bright purples. colors you might see during Easter, you know, as the spring starts coming forward. And I'm getting height in different ways. Not only height to the side, but also height above. These are the baskets right here or the bags that you'll receive of your decorations. A few more daisies, I want that pop of color, and a few leaves just to make it up. So what I want to do, I know we talked about it last time, is make sure that my arrangement has some sort of height. Because I am going for the tall vase, I can add a lot more height this way. In our last floral arrangement video, we did a centerpiece that was for the table, or intentionally for the table, so that you could see the person across from you. This will not be the case, and we can achieve more height because of that. So what I'm going to do is gather my greens, make sure my vase is ready. And I want to gather my greens in an attractive manner. So not too many greens stuck together. I want to have that pop, that yellow color pop in. And I love these ranunculus. They're one of my favorite flowers. I love that. So I want to add the height, and as you can see, I can pull and adjust when it's in my hand. Pull and adjust the flower if I like it down here, up here, to achieve that height that I desire. We have our lavender, and I want to put that towards the back of my floral arrangement. So I'm actually going to flip this around, because by putting the larger pieces behind, what I'm doing is giving it height from behind, but not taking away from the flowers that are already in my bouquet. So I'm going to pull this ranunculus down. So you're seeing the front view, I'm seeing the back. And I love the way that these fall down like this. It's just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I've got my greens that are sticking up here. With the springtime, we get a lot of fresh greenery. We want to see that green. Here we go. And even with some of these flowers, if you can see right over here, we've got some orange ranunculus as well. Just gorgeous. So I'm going to take another pop of my yellow color and add it not right next to the other existing yellow, but just a little down off to the side. I've got my eucalyptus leaves. And the great thing is that you can manipulate your leaves. You bend it back a little bit with the plastic because they're fake leaves, and get the design that you want. So let me see how it looks like from up here. So I'm not liking this greenery. I'm gonna take this one. It's not balancing very well. So what I'm gonna do is pull my lavender down. I want that balance of flowers, greenery. There we go, a little bit better that way. So I'm going to take this greenery I pulled out. It wasn't looking good in the front, so what I'm gonna do is, this is in the back now. Make sure my lavender is a part of it too. Here we go. Oh, and look at how perfect this works out. So I've got my bouquet here. It's gonna tighten up once I add it into the vase, but this, what I'm gonna say, mock baby breath, will look perfect right about here. And as you can see, I have layers in my floral arrangement. You don't want everything to be at the same level, and I talk about height a lot. So we get the height from these I think they're cherry blossoms. You get the height from the blossoms here. You get the height from the lavender. And by that contrasting height, you're getting something that looks very pleasing to the eye. So that is why I have my little mock baby's breath down here below, like that. If you can see, I've got my greenery, I've got my hanging down, but yet it's opposite. So I've got white over here, but this one pulls your eye in the different direction. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get it into the vase and see how it looks. Like once it's in my hand, if I'm gonna have to adjust it. So here we go. For me, as a reminder, I'm not using the Oasis. I'm just placing my flowers straight in. I'm gonna pull this one out a little bit more. This is really tightly packed. There we go. And as I push down, I'm going to turn this towards you. So this is going to be the front. You're looking at the front. As I push down my flowers, it will push down the crinkled paper. There we go. And I've got a lovely spread here. As you can see, I have, my crinkled paper is going crazy up there. Actually, I want to pull out my baby's breath a little bit more. So what I'm looking at here, clear out this area so you can see it. I'm going to clear this crinkle paper. So what you see here is the desired height, which is what we get from the blossoms and the lavender still. We have our pops of color. Let's bring that one up. Some of the petals are going in a different direction. I might actually try turning this greenery back here. That's what I love about these faux plants, is that they're very forgiving. You can rearrange them and make it look good and how you want. So I'm going to turn it my way just real quick and see if I want any other difference. So I see my arrangement and I want it to stand up a little bit taller. I want it to be tight. For this purpose, I want my flowers to be as if you were receiving a bouquet, like someone took a bouquet and threw it in a vase. So I want mine to be tighter. I think it's gonna look better that way with the height that I have and the floral textures. So I'm going to add in my Spanish moss. And you can do this again with the crinkle paper. I know everybody's receiving the crinkle paper, or version of crinkle paper or Spanish moss, whatever we had on hand, and both can be interchanged. So what I wanted is mine to be a little bit tighter. I think we've got it there. I'm gonna turn this around. So don't be afraid to have something a little different. As you can see, I've got my white right here, but what it does is draw your attention to the flower, and you want to have different contrasting colors. And it's the trend right now to have mixing patterns. And I would say the same is for flowers, where you have a different type of leaf, one coming off, like this little guy is, these little tiny berries. This is hanging down lower than the rest of the plants down here, but it's giving it contrast and therefore making it pleasing to the eye, just like you would in food, where they say you eat with your eyes first. You want your food to be attractive. You want to eat it. And that is where we're going for with the flowers. Of course, we're not trying to eat the flower arrangement, but you want it to look good. So go with your heart, and when you're designing, if something's not sitting right, just be brave and take it all apart again, and you'll find that arrangement in your hand. I always use a clenched fist to see, okay, whereabouts I like it, move a flower here and there, clench my fist again and get a good look, and then place it in my vase. And you can redo that as many times as you want. And the wonderful thing about these bouquets is that you can take the first floral arrangement you did and intertwine the flowers if you want to spice things up too. So thank you so much for joining us today for our second floral arrangement class. Look for the delivery of these bags, or you would have received them by now. And all in the bags are all of your material. And I hope you've enjoyed this class and learning a little bit more about flower arranging and all of the joy it can bring into your home with some flowers. Thank you so much.